We don't serve people like you, so get out or I will call the security. The bell above the door jingled again as Marcus Daniels stepped further into the diner. It was late morning. The smell of bacon and burnt coffee hung heavy in the air. The chatter of white customers filled the room. Forks clinked against plates. Laughter spilled out from a corner booth. Marcus paused for a second, scanning the place. He'd built this diner years ago, painted those same walls, chose those same booths. It was supposed to be a place where everyone felt welcome, but standing there now, dressed in a plain hoodie, no fancy watch, no boss aura, it felt different. The warmth he designed wasn't for him today. He walked up to the counter. Lisa, the white waitress, finally looked up. Her smile, the one she'd just flashed at the older white couple, vanished instantly. Yeah?" she said, popping her gum. "You need something, sir?" Marcus nodded politely. "Yeah, just some toast and coffee. Nothing fancy." She leaned an elbow on the counter, eyeing him like she was checking for trouble. We got folks waiting, so it might take a bit." "That's fine," he replied, calm as ever. Lisa pointed toward the corner booth near the bathroom. "You can sit back there." Marcus gave a soft smile, like he'd heard it all before, and walked over. The air around him seemed to cool. A few customers stared. Some whispered. At the front, Lisa leaned over the counter toward a white man sitting with his coffee. "Guy walks in here like he owns the place," she muttered. The man chuckled. "Probably just another drifter looking for free refills." Lisa grinned. "Yeah? Well, he ain't getting one from me." Marcus sat quietly, glancing at the chipped napkin holder, the old jukebox in the corner, the cracked leather seat he'd once paid to fix himself. He remembered the pride he felt the day this diner opened, and how he'd promised his mother he'd never let disrespect live inside it. Now here it was, sitting right across the room, wearing red lipstick and a fake smile. Lisa passed his table twice, pouring coffee for everyone else. When Marcus lifted his hand gently, she didn't even look. 10 minutes passed, then 15. Still no coffee. Finally, Tom the cook, a white man in his 50s with oil-stained hands and kind eyes, leaned out from the kitchen window. "Hey, Lisa, that guy back there still waiting?" Lisa shrugged, still scrolling through her phone. "Yeah, he ordered toast and coffee. I'll get to it." Tom frowned. He ordered 20 minutes ago. She shot him a sharp look. "You gonna tell me how to do my job now?" Tom sighed and wiped his hands. He poured the coffee himself, slid it onto a tray with a plate of toast, and brought it out front. When he reached Marcus's booth, Marcus looked up and smiled. "Appreciate it, brother." Tom nodded. "Sorry about the wait. Guess things got backed up." Marcus's eyes flicked toward Lisa, who was laughing with two white customers at the counter. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Seems like it." As he spoke, Lisa turned, and for a split second, their eyes met. She held the stare, then rolled hers, muttering loud enough for others to hear. "Can't make everyone happy. Some people just love to complain." A couple of customers snickered. One woman whispered, "You can't say nothing these days without someone pulling the race card." Marcus heard it. Every word. He didn't move, just took a slow sip of coffee, cold already. The bitterness wasn't just from the beans. Then came the final spark. A young white man walked in. Tattoos, baseball cap, loud voice. Lisa's face lit up instantly. "Hey, Johnny, long time, no see." She grabbed a menu and rushed to greet him, brushing right past Marcus's booth. When Johnny sat down, she whispered with a grin, "Don't mind the back corner. We got a situation back there." Johnny glanced over his shoulder at Marcus, then smirked. "Oh yeah? You sure he's not gonna walk out on the check?" Lisa laughed. Wouldn't be the first time. Marcus's jaw tightened. His fingers drummed on the table. 1, 2, 3, slow and steady. He looked out the window, catching his own reflection in the glass. He'd faced this kind of thing before. From cops, from clients, from investors who thought his skin made him smaller. But this one was personal. This was his diner, his walls, his tables, his name on the business license hanging right behind the counter. And the people running it didn't even see him as human. Lisa passed by again, dropping the check on his table with a snap. "No refills," she said flatly. "Company policy." Marcus looked up at her, eyes steady. "Funny," he said softly. "I wrote that policy." Lisa blinked, confused for a split second. But before she could ask, Marcus slid a $20 bill under the plate, stood up, and straightened his hoodie. As he walked past her, she muttered under her breath, "Yeah, don't come back next time." Marcus stopped at the door, turned slightly, and looked her dead in the eye. "Next time," he said quietly, "I'll decide who comes back." Lisa frowned, not understanding. Marcus pushed the door open and walked out into the sunlight, calm, but the storm behind his eyes was ready. Because what she didn't know was simple. The man she just disrespected wasn't some stranger off the street. He was her boss, and her time was running out. The sun burned low through the blinds of Sunnyside Diner, slicing gold across the tile floor. Lisa laughed behind the counter. Same fake laugh, same gossip with the regulars. It was a new day, but for her, nothing had changed. Until that door opened again. The little bell above it chimed softly. Heads turned. In walked Marcus Daniels, the same black man she had humiliated the day before. But today, he wasn't hiding behind a hoodie. Now he wore a navy suit, polished shoes, and the quiet confidence of someone who didn't need to prove anything. The laughter faded instantly. The air thickened with unease. Lisa blinked hard, her smile freezing mid-sentence. "Oh, it's you." Marcus didn't answer. He walked slowly to the counter, his gaze moving across the walls, the boots, the tables, every inch of a place that was supposed to reflect him. He stopped at the counter, resting both hands on it. Lisa stammered, Can I help you?" Her voice trembled, not from fear, but confusion. Then from the back came Rick, the white manager, wiping his hands on a towel. "Mr. Daniels, sir, I didn't know you were coming today." Lisa's head jerked up. She blinked fast, the color draining from her face. "Wait, Mr. Daniels?" she whispered. Rick frowned. "You mean you didn't know? Marcus owns this place." The diner went dead quiet. A fork dropped somewhere. Someone gasped. Marcus's eyes never left Lisa's. "I came in yesterday," he said, voice even and heavy. "Just a customer. Ordered toast. Sat in that booth." He pointed to the corner. "You remember what you said to me?" Lisa's throat tightened. I didn't realize." "That I was human?" His tone cut like a knife. Calm, but devastating. Rick tried to step in. "Sir, I assure you." Marcus raised a hand. "Don't. This isn't about you." Lisa's eyes filled with tears. "I swear I didn't mean it like that." He leaned in slightly. "You asked if I could pay for my food." His voice dropped. "In my own restaurant." The whole diner felt that. Customers stared at their plates. A mother pulled her child close. Marcus continued, each word slow, sharp, and deliberate. "You thought I was just another broke black man. Someone beneath your kindness." Lisa's lip trembled. "I was having a bad day." Marcus shook his head. "No, you weren't. You were having a regular day, and that's the problem." The silence grew thick. Even the clock on the wall seemed to stop ticking. Finally, Marcus turned to Rick. "She's done here. Immediately." Rick swallowed. "Understood, sir." Lisa's voice cracked. "Please, Mr. Daniels. I need this job. I got kids." Marcus's expression softened for just a moment, not out of pity, but reflection. He spoke quietly. "Then you should have remembered what it means to earn something. Not just a paycheck, but respect." Tears ran down her face. "I'll do better, I swear." Marcus looked her in the eye. "You had your chance." He turned toward Tom, the cook, who stood silently in the doorway. "Tom," Marcus said, "you treated me like a man when nobody else did. You ever think about running this floor?" Tom blinked. Yeah, boss, I'd be proud to." Marcus nodded once. "You start now." Lisa sobbed quietly into her hands as Marcus buttoned his jacket. He turned back before walking out. "One thing you should know," he said quietly. "When I go undercover, I'm not testing people's skills. I'm testing their heart." Then he walked out, leaving the bell to ring behind him like a closing chapter. Inside, the silence was deafening. No one touched their coffee, because everyone had just seen exactly what truth looks like and how it burns. A week later, the diner looked different. The same red booths, the same menu, but a new feeling hung in the air. Tom now stood behind the counter in a crisp white apron, greeting every customer the same, with respect. The place was alive again, but softer, lighter. Marcus walked in, this time without a suit, just jeans, a collared shirt, and a relaxed smile. Tom spotted him instantly. "Boss, good to see you." Marcus nodded. "Good to be seen, Tom." He took a seat, this time by the window, sunlight washing over him. A new waitress, Rosa, a young Latino woman with tired eyes but a warm smile, came over. "Coffee and toast, right?" she said, setting down a mug before he even asked. Marcus smiled. "You're good." She grinned shyly. "Tom told me your story. Said you built this place from nothing." Marcus nodded, looking around. "Brick by brick, one plate at a time." Rosa hesitated, then spoke softly. "My dad used to come here when he worked construction. Said this diner made him feel respected, like family." Marcus's jaw tightened, emotion flickering behind his eyes. That's what it was meant to be. At another booth, an older black man came in, hat in hand. Tom greeted him with a handshake and a smile. "Coffee's on the house, Mr. Reed. Thanks for coming back." The old man chuckled. "Didn't think I'd see this place change like that." Marcus overheard. He looked down at his cup, nodding to himself. Lisa's corner, the one where she used to stand, was empty now. Her absence was loud, but it wasn't missed. Rosa returned with his toast, warm, golden, butter melting slowly. She said, "We don't serve anything cold around here anymore." Marcus smiled faintly. "Good. Keep it that way." He took a bite, looking out at the busy street beyond the window. Inside, laughter filled the diner again. Real laughter this time. Tom flipped pancakes, Rosa chatted with regulars, and a couple of kids shared fries in the corner booth. Marcus leaned back, eyes calm. This was what he built it for. Not just food, but fairness. Not just service, but soul. He raised his coffee slightly, almost like a toast to the room. "To new beginnings," he murmured. And for the first time in a long time, Sunnyside Diner truly lived up to its name.